After a day of remembrance, Sun Prairie continues to grow stronger today. We'll show you how that community came together to mark an emotional anniversary.
And Mallard too. Madison's baseball team is changing its name for a limited time only. We'll introduce you to the all-new Wisconsin cheese curds just ahead.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now this morning.
All right, only in Wisconsin can cheese curds sound good at 6 in the morning. That sounds delicious.
It does.
I was just going to say, now I'm hungry.
I know. Bring back some cheese curds, Christina.
We could just have a whole pile of them right here on the desk and we'd all be...
Why not? Good way. It's almost Friday.
It is.
It's almost Friday. We could be
is.
eating them outside, though. Beautiful morning.
It is gorgeous outside. You'll notice there's lower humidity this morning. It dropped last night. We have a beautiful sunrise underway, though. Take a look at the WISC-TV sky cam shot. Looking to the east, sun is up this morning. Skies are clear right now. Dew points are quite a bit lower than they were this time yesterday. If you remember, dew points were in the 70s at this hour. So I'll take 60s, even though that's still a little high. Feels much better than yesterday. Temperatures will climb to highs right around 80 this afternoon. Just a light north wind today, so an absolutely gorgeous day. No rain in our forecast today. Nothing weather-wise that should slow you down at all. No major delays showing up on the traffic maps just yet. A few brake lights right around Stoughton Road and Park Street, but that's about it right now. No other accidents or issues to report in and around Dane County.
Boy, Josh, getting some texts this morning about those cheese curds?
Well, if I wouldn't have showed you that video, then I wouldn't have my sound on.
What can we say? We're hungry. A lot of people want to
hungry.
take part in this cheese curd eating fest we're planning out.
Can't wait to hear all about it.
Thank you, Patty.
You're welcome.
Time right now is 6:02 this morning. The Sun Prairie community is continuing to show they are truly Sun Prairie stronger. Last night, the community met to look back on the year with a ceremony at the fire department. The mayor, the fire chief, and Abby Barr all spoke. They thanked the community and reflected on how much they've grown in the last year. Abby said there isn't just one person she could thank. She had to thank the entire community, and she had this emotional message for her late husband.
Because of you, I have learned what it means to be selfless, brave, strong, courageous, and how to love unconditionally. And these are all things I will be instilling in our two beautiful girls.
Goosebumps every time I hear that.
So emotional.
A day that will be remembered for a very long time in Sun Prairie for sure. The Historical Museum there is putting together an exhibit on the day, but they're still looking for contributions, especially first-hand accounts. If you missed it yesterday, they'll be collecting them Sunday when they'll finally be open once again.
During an emergency like last year's explosion, it takes more than a quick response to save lives. It also takes coordination and a sense of calm. That's what Dr. Michael Lohmeyer says he felt that day. Part of his job with UW Hospital is to respond to scenes like that explosion to offer support to first responders. His team goes to those emergencies in a vehicle that's packed with supplies to treat people on the scene, which can include the very men and women risking their lives to save others.
They want to get back in there and they want to do more good for their community. And so part of my role too is to force them in a way to gear down, to take care of yourself, to think about you for a minute so that you can be optimized when you go back in there and do more work on the scene.
Dr. Lohmeyer had already worked a 12-hour shift at the hospital when he was called out to Sun Prairie. He says one thing that really stuck out that day was the amount of professionalism and calm those first responders had, despite losing one of their own.
Captain Corey Barr's presence has never left Sun Prairie, but soon there will be a physical reminder of him in the city he loved. There will be a statue put up in his honor outside of the fire department. It's being put together right now by Brodeen Studios in Kimball, Minnesota, 70 miles outside of Minneapolis. This is near my hometown, I should mention.
Interesting.
The design is still a work in progress, but the end result will be a firefighter holding Captain Barr's helmet.
Love that story. All right, around the state this morning, a worker at an Oak Creek Amazon construction site is dead after falling 40 feet. Police say the victim was operating a piece of equipment on an upper floor, then drove that vehicle out of an open window. An autopsy is scheduled for today, but the victim's name will not be released. OSHA has opened an investigation into that case.
And more local news at 6:04 this morning. Madison West High School is planning on offering free condoms to students upon request. When they request the condoms, they'll be told about reproductive health, how to use a condom, and consent. The Dane County Health Department says sexually transmitted infections at West increased from around 40 in 2015 to more than 90 in 2017. Of the 305 sexually active West students who responded to a survey last year, 21% say they've never used a condom. The State Department of Public Instruction estimates that only around 7% of Wisconsin high schools offer free condoms.
In Rock County, officials in Beloit are hoping to answer any questions their residents might have ahead of marijuana legalization happening right across the border in Illinois next year. There will be 3 conversations with the community about CBD, hemp, and marijuana. The first of those meetings is tonight at the Beloit Rotary Center from 6:30 until 8. More meetings will be held next Thursday, then again on August 1st.
One of Madison's favorite summer festivals kicks off later today. We're talking about Fête des Marquettes, of course, which is marking its 14th year. It is 4 days of world-class music across 4 stages. Family, fun, local food, great beer and wine, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Today's events run from 4 to 10. Fête des Marquettes is put on by the Willie Street Co-op. It is free to get in and runs through Sunday.
All right, in case we haven't made it clear enough, us Wisconsinites love our cheese curds. And this month, the Madison Mallards are putting that affection front and center field.
Yeah, the team announced that they'll become the Wisconsin Cheese Curds for 3 games only. But how is that going to impact fans at the game? Our Christina Laurie is live from the Duck Pond this morning to find out. Hi, Christina.
Hi, Josh and Leah. Cheese curds have jokingly been labeled a cultural icon here in Madison, but the Mallards' latest stunt is no joke. The team is actually changing its name for 3 games at least. Back to talk about that is the team's general manager, Tyler Isham. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Yeah, you bet. We're excited.
So we're standing in front of a wall of entirely new merch. That's one of the things fans can see when they come out here. What was the reasoning behind this name change?
Yeah, the big thing was just to have fun. You know, we always talk about how the #1 thing we want to be in the community is fun, and we wanted to try something new and different in this merch line and the logo. With the superhero cheese curd, you know, he looks like he's having a great time, and he's got his cape, he's flying around.
Does he have a name yet?
He does not have a name quite yet, but we are working on that, so stay tuned, and we may have it coming up soon. Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing was we just wanted to try something new and different, and continue to kind of push the envelope and have fun when we're out here.
And speaking of new and different, there are a ton of different cheese curd options.
There are, yep.
You have your notes so we can go through some specifics.
Yeah, so we have 3 specials tonight that our chefs are bringing to us, and each week, so we're going to be home tonight, next Thursday, and the next Thursday after that. So the 18th and 25th will be the cheese curds on all 3 of those nights, and we'll have different food specials on those nights. So tonight at the TDS Dribble Play Club, we've got a Bloody Mary brat topped with a jalapeno breaded curd with bacon strips, celery seed, and green olive on top of that.
Okay.
So sounds delicious, right? And then behind home plate at our Stoddard Smokehouse, we have a tandoori chicken and buttermilk curd non-wrap with fresh cucumber and yogurt sauce. And then at the Festival Foods Grill, this one is my personal favorite, sounds delicious. We have a Philly curd bowl. So it's a Philly-style ribeye steak, Northwoods Foods Munster cheese curds, white American cheese sauce, sautéed onions, and grilled bread, all served in a nice little bowl. So
I don't
if
know
that
which one I
doesn't
wanna
make
try
you
first.
hungry at 6 in the morning, I don't know what does. So yeah, we're going to bring all those specials tonight, and then we'll have more coming up each week. So.
Thank you so much, and that was a good teaser too. We'll talk about what's next for the weeks ahead for the Mallards, but what you should know tonight. First pitch at 6:35. Maybe, I don't know, it's a little past our bedtime, Josh and Leah, don't you think?
I don't know, but I think
Let's
worth
stay up
it.
for those curds. Are you kidding me?
My tummy is seriously rumbling right now. I'm not even joking.
We were drooling while you were describing those cheese curds.
Well, and I love the option that it's a wrap with hummus and fresh cucumber, as if
Healthy.
that's disguising it as a health food. Yeah.
Makes you feel a little bit better about it, but it's cheese curds. Who cares? Who cares? All right, Christina Laurie live for us at the Duck Pond this morning. Christina, thank you.
Oh, best assignment ever. All right, if you need a drink with your cheese curds, new research shows drinking could have a bigger effect on mental health than we think, especially in women. We're going to talk to our medical expert, Dr. Mandira Mary, about that story coming up.
But first, it is the kind of forecast that will have you drinking plenty of water. Hattie has a nice day in store for us today, but the don't talk to me humidity will be returning this weekend. She's in next with our first alert forecast. Keep watching News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning from the Hattie-O patio. It's definitely feeling more comfortable outside this morning. Boy, was it a warm and humid one yesterday. Take a look at high temperatures across the upper Midwest. We had upper 80s to close to 90 here in southern Wisconsin. But notice how much cooler it was in northwestern Wisconsin and across much of Minnesota. High temperatures were in the 70s in most locations. We're going to be a little bit closer to those numbers today, so a big cool down by about 10 degrees for us here in the southern part of the state. Now, as far as satellite and radar are concerned this morning, not a whole lot happening on the map. There are a few clouds passing through the state. A little tough to see on the satellite map this morning. They're not very significant clouds by any means. No rain in our forecast today. In fact, here's the view from the Edgewater Skycam. Skies are mostly clear here in Madison this morning, and temperatures are in the 60s. We've dropped another degree down to 66, 65 in the Dells, 64 in Janesville, still holding on to 67 though in Prairie du Chien. A pretty nice start when you consider dew points are back about 8 to 10 degrees lower than they were yesterday at this time. We're looking at dew points in the 60s, and they'll hold in the low to mid 60s through the day today. So while it's still a little bit on the humid side, it's not as tropical as it was yesterday. Heat index today will only creep into the low 80s for a couple of hours this afternoon. Now here's a look at your future track forecast model. There may be a few clouds passing through the area from north to south this morning. Otherwise, temperatures in the mid 70s by lunchtime. Be a great day to take lunch outside today with that light north wind and the sun. 80 is the high later on this afternoon with mostly sunny skies. If you have outdoor plans this evening, the weather shouldn't give you any troubles. It'll be a gorgeous evening with temperatures dropping through the 70s between 7 and 8 o'clock, back into the 60s by 10. Overnight, it will be a little cooler. You can give the AC a break with lows dropping into the 50s. Here's a look at that extended forecast, though. Unfortunately, you're probably going to want the AC by Friday into Saturday. And if not Friday, you'll definitely want it by next week. Highs in the 90s for an extended stretch. There are alert days in the forecast due to the high heat and humidity. Now let's send it over to Josh Tim for a look at those traffic maps. Good morning, Josh.
Yeah, good morning. A quiet start on the Beltline so far. Really nothing to slow you down heading east or westbound quite yet. Other roads here in Dane County, not too bad either, but I would plan on a few brake lights at Stoughton Road if you're hopping onto the Beltline. Nothing to slow you down around the Capitol Square and UW campus. I would expect things to pick up over the next hour or so. And other main routes heading into the city, they're moving along at the usual speeds with no major crashes or delays. Your first alert traffic, I'm Josh Tim.
Thank you, Josh, and thank you, Hattie. All right, 6:15 is your time this morning, so it probably goes without saying cutting back on drinking makes you healthier.
But there is some new research shedding light on just how much drinking can affect women in particular, especially when it comes to our mental health. Dr. Mandira Mehra from SSM Health is joining us this morning to talk more about that research. Good morning.
Good morning.
Such an interesting study.
Really, we talked about this dry January back, a few months ago.
Yeah.
And then, a couple years ago, we talked about, well, is a glass a day really the way to go? We know it may have some cardiovascular benefits, some stroke benefit, that kind of thing. But this is a great study. It looked at 10,000 people in Hong Kong, about 30,000 people in the U.S., and it measured mental health levels of moderate drinkers or people that were abstaining from alcohol. So it completely eliminated the heavy drinking population. So we're not looking at a skewed population that is qualified as over drinking. What the study showed is that mental health overall improved the most, particularly in women that abstained from drinking. So we're talking not drinking at all. The people that had the most benefit had stopped drinking for about 4 years and then reached mental health levels of people that just did not drink at all in life. And I know to many people that's kind of a foreign concept, that wow, there's people out there that don't drink at all. And yes, there are people that don't drink at all. The question is, why is this? The pop culture belief is, drink in moderation or a drink a day is good for you, that kind of thing. But overall, we're seeing again and again that the risks may outweigh the benefits. So we're not saying that there are not potential benefits to alcohol. What we are saying is there are potential risks that may outweigh that. We already know that alcohol consumption can be a risk for depression, can be a risk for irritability. Many people say, but Dr. Mehra, that glass takes the edge off, or that glass of wine at night really helps me relax and I feel less anxious. And we know that if you look at the psychiatric studies, that acutely the alcohol will bring down some anxiety for many people. However, in the long run, it may increase those anxieties. And then we begin to see this cycle where you need that drink to kind of relax, but then in the long run, you feel more anxious. So the question is, the study really brings up the point is, should we just be abstaining from alcohol? Especially if you're a woman and you notice that you want a calm, happy, kind of anxious-free life, maybe reaching for that glass of wine at the end of the day isn't the answer. A lot of people say, well, what is that alcohol really accomplishing? A lot of people say, I'm being more social, I'm getting out there, I have friends. So bars are now starting this thing called a sober curious movement. It's kind of been trending for the past couple months. And they're actually holding events where you still have the same people, friends, maybe dating situation, but you're not serving alcohol. You're serving mocktails. You still have the music, the same environment, great tasty food, but no alcohol. So a lot more interesting further studies will have to be performed here to see, is this real? Is this benefit real for mental health?
Yeah, I think a lot of the going out with the experience, like you mentioned, a lot of times it isn't the alcohol, it's just getting together with friends. So if you make it a little bit more simple, it might make more sense.
Right,
exactly.
They say that alcohol right now has a monopoly on socializing, which is true, right? When you meet up with friends or you see someone from high school, hey, let's grab a drink sometime. Maybe that'll turn into, hey, let's go hiking, let's go camping, let's play a game, something like that.
All right. Interesting study. Thank you, Dr. Merrick. Glad to have you.
Great to be here.
All right, up next this morning, about a year after a young Madison boy with a special bond with the police died in a tragic accident, his family's working to keep his memory alive by contributing to a special cause. We'll have that story coming up next.
But first, Taddy says we've got about a day or two before things start to get really humid outside, like alert day humid. She has another check on your Thursday forecast, though. That's when News 3 Now This Morning returns.
Bring your family and friends.
Welcome back at 6:22 on a Thursday morning, and a beautiful start to the day after kind of a humid day yesterday. Just a little taste of what's going to be coming, though.
Just a wee bit humid yesterday, Josh. Yeah, just a warm up, though, for the forecast in the extended time frame. But today's beautiful. Here's a live look from the Edgewater Sky Camp, looking out over Lake Mendota. I bet the lake's going to be pretty busy today. No rain in the forecast and a lot of sunshine make for a pretty good lake day. Take a look, also not a lake, but a pool. Henry Violet Zoo Sky Camp, polar bear doing laps again this morning. It's going to be a great day for any outdoor activities today. Here's a look at your current conditions. 66 in Madison, 64 in Janesville, 67 in Watertown this morning. In southwestern Wisconsin, temperatures are in the mid-60s as well. Dew points are a little bit lower than they were this time yesterday. We're down in the 60s. Dew points should hold pretty steady in the low to mid 60s through the afternoon. So you'll still notice a little bit of humidity. Pretty tough to have no humidity in the summer here in Wisconsin, but it is going to feel nicer than yesterday. Take a look at your future track temperatures. Again, starting out this morning by 10 o'clock, already back into the 70s across southern Wisconsin. Mid 70s by lunchtime. Perfect day to take lunch outside today. Highs will be right around 80 later on this afternoon. And if you have outdoor plans this evening, temperatures will cool down nicely. After 9 o'clock, we'll start to drop into the 60s. Again, relatively low humidity sticking around all day. Can't say that, though, for the upcoming weekend right into next week. Alert days start on Sunday. For the high heat and humidity, looks like we're going to have an extended stretch of 90-degree temperatures.
Oofda. All right, Hattie. Thank you.
You're welcome.
6:24 is your time this morning. Nearly a year after losing their son, a Madison family is keeping his legacy alive.
Megan May describes her son as kind, sweet, and a light in everyone's life. He wanted to be a police officer someday so he could help others. The May family started the group Dominic's Ripple to raise money for police causes. Not only did Dominic want to be in law enforcement, but he loved dogs. So their first goal is to raise $50,000 for a canine unit for the Madison Police Department.
We want people to remember Dominic. We don't want his life to end at the age of 5. We want his story to continue. And so through Dominic's Ripple, his story can continue.
This Sunday from 1 until 5 p.m., Dominic's Ripple is holding its kickoff event at the Kiva Sports Center over in Middleton.
You can find all of the information for that on channel3000.com.
Just an incredible story there.
Good to see the spirit continuing.
Indeed. All right, 6:25, your time now. Up next, we have a check on the top 3 stories making headlines this morning, including a group of presidential candidates making a stop in Wisconsin today.
And as more parents worry about online bullying on social media, one of the most popular platforms is rolling out a new feature to keep that bullying in check. Thanks for starting your day with News 3 Now this morning.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning, folks, and thanks for joining us on this Thursday, July 11th. You are in store for an absolutely beautiful day before we start to crank up the heat, right, Hattie?
Yeah, we have relatively low humidity today and pretty nice conditions.
Good news for me, that's for sure. We'll get to Hattie's forecast here in just a moment, but first, here are the top 3 things you need to know today. 4 Democratic presidential candidates will be in Milwaukee this morning for a town hall. Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, Julian Castro, and Beto O'Rourke will get 20 minutes each to speak. The League of United Latin American Citizens is hosting that event, and immigration is expected to be a major topic.
The second story we're following this morning, the U.S. women's soccer team is already affecting change when it comes to equal pay. Before their ticker tape parade in New York yesterday to celebrate their World Cup win, the state's governor signed a bill expanding the state's gender pay law to make it illegal to pay workers differently based on their gender.
And the third story of the morning, the Louisiana and several neighboring states are bracing for a weather system developing over the Gulf. Flash flooding after dumping of 8 inches of rain in that area has New Orleans in 3 hours yesterday. The governor there has declared a state of emergency.
Fortunately, much quieter here in southern Wisconsin. Hattie's keeping an eye on the forecast and the roads this morning. Hi, Hattie.
Good morning, Leah and Josh. Yeah, pretty easy job for me this morning. The weather is very quiet across the area. Sun is up here in southern Wisconsin and skies are mostly clear. It definitely feels a little more comfortable than it did yesterday at this time. Temperatures are in the mid 60s. Dew points are in the 60s as well. No 70-degree dew points in the forecast today. As you head out the door, just grab those sunglasses. It should be a beautiful summer day with highs right around 80 degrees. Enjoy these relatively cooler conditions because we are going to heat things up starting this weekend. Now look at your first alert traffic maps for the Madison area. Still pretty quiet. A little bit of a slowdown on Stoughton Road right around the belt line, but no major delays to report right now. I did look around southern Wisconsin. There aren't any accidents or issues. Looks like you're still going at posted speeds as you head into Madison. And that's your first alert traffic.
Hattie, thank you so much. It is 6:31 this morning, and in more local news, the Madison Mallards will be going by a different name tonight.
Oh yeah, the Wisconsin Cheese Curds will take the field at the Duck Pond for the very first time. Christina Laurie is live this morning to explain the good cause behind the name change. Hi, Christina.
Us Wisconsinites love our cheese curds, so it's finally time to put that love front and center, or should we say center field, since we're at a ballpark. Back to talk about that is the Curds general manager, Tyler Isham. Thanks for sticking out with us all morning.
Yeah, you bet.
So for the next 3 Thursday games, people can experience the cheese curds. What does that mean?
Yeah, that's right. So tonight, July 18th and July 25th, the Mallards rebrand as the Wisconsin Cheese Curds. So cheese curd specials throughout the ballpark that we talked about earlier. Each Thursday night we'll be releasing and have new specials at each concession stand. So you got to make it to all 3 to get all of our cheese curd specials. And then the last thing is all those Thursday nights in the Great Dane Duck Blind out in right field, if you have a Duck Blind ticket, that will include an order of cheese curds. So as if we don't give you enough food when you're out in the Duck Blind, you'll also get an order of cheese curds when you have those tickets on those Thursday nights only.
You're making me hungry. It's not that you necessarily need to draw more fans to the ballpark, though. You guys are having a fantastic season.
Yeah, it's been great. So we won the first half. So we made the playoffs, which is fantastic. So we'll host a home playoff game on either Monday, August 12th, or Tuesday, August 13th. So tickets are on sale now for that playoff game. We'll know which one of those dates it is based on overall record. But we have clinched a playoff spot, and we'll be in the playoffs to try to clinch a title. So that's super exciting.
And then really quick, this Thursday tonight is the Curds game, but then what about this weekend? You guys have some stuff going on.
Yeah, so Saturday at 6:05, we've got a home game here. We've got post-game fireworks, and in those fireworks, we're going to be doing a gender reveal. So the fireworks will shoot off either blue or pink to start to reveal a family's gender. And then Sunday is our Game of Thrones night. So we have a Millie of Thrones bobblehead to give away. So get that at the front gate, and we'll be doing all sorts of Game of Thrones themed things. We're going to head back to Westeros and let people relive their time with that show on Sunday here at the park.
So it's a summer full of fun events for both the Mallards and the Curds.
And the Curds, that's
Thank you for introducing us to Madison's newest team this morning.
You bet.
The Wisconsin Cheese Curds. I'm going to go throw on my shirt. I'm pretty excited about it. They have a whole new line of merchandise that we showed you in the past half hour, Josh and Leah. But first pitch today, 6:35.
Leah, I tell ya.
What are you laughing at?
I'm hungry. This is great.
She's losing it, Christina.
It's a delirious laugh.
I know, I'm so hungry.
Thanks so much, Christina Laurie, live at the Duck Pond this morning. Thank you.
All right, sticking with that food theme, family barbecue season is in full swing. Oh, cheese curds at 6:30 in the morning, folks. I'm excited. But you are going to want to be careful when you're looking for things to buy for that barbecue. Several hamburger and hot dog bun brands have been recalled for a plastic choking hazard. Those products are sold at places like Walmart, Sam's Club, and Aldi. Flower Foods Bakery says some of those products might have small pieces of hard plastic in them and could be a choking hazard. So far, there are no injuries or illnesses from those products. If you're looking at the shelves, those products include Nature's Own, Great Value, Laura Lynn, Piggly Wiggly, Publix, Food Depot, and Wonder.
6:34 right now. In an effort to combat bullying, Instagram is now going to let you know when you're being mean. The app is rolling out 2 new features, comment warnings and a restriction option. The comment warning is meant to detect offensive or borderline content as a user types and then prompts the user to reconsider before posting. The restrict option will allow users to hide comments from specific users without notifying them that they've been muted.
All right, if your sweet tooth gets the best of you today, Starbucks is offering a special drink that won't be around for too long. They're calling it Summer in a Cup in the form of a tie-dye frappuccino. Yeah, I don't know, folks.
Not a fan.
Each 16-ounce serving has, get ready for this, 400 calories, 60 grams of carbs, and 58 grams of sugar.
Wow.
Oh my goodness, we're going to be bouncing off the walls more than we already are this morning. It is only going to be in participating stores for the next couple of days, and I think we're all glad for that.
I'll just stick with the cheese curds.
Yeah, you and me both.
All right, 6:35 right now. It has been a big year for Wisconsin sports, and it's starting to pay off for Milwaukee's pair of MVPs. We'll tell you who won big at the ESPY Awards coming up.
And with all that national attention comes new gear. The Greek Freak now has his own Nike shoe. We'll tell you more about the Freak Ones and how you can get your hands on them. That's when News 3 Now this morning returns.
Welcome back at 6:38 on a Thursday morning, and Julie is sharing her morning with us. Check out that sunrise shot. She says, "Here comes the sun, do 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 do."
Ooh, that was good, Josh.
There you go.
On tune and everything. Thanks so much for sharing, Julie.
We love to see those morning pictures, so if you'd like to share your morning with us, all you have to do is go to our Channel 3000 social media pages and use the hashtag MyNews3Morning. Some of Wisconsin's finest athletes will be bringing home more awards to add to their shelves after last night's ESPY Awards.
Oh yeah, be proud, folks. The Brewers' Christian Yelich took home the award for Best MLB Player. The reigning National League MVP leads the majors in home runs and was one of the leading vote getters for this year's All-Star Game. Yelich will rejoin the Brewers as they play their first game back from the All-Star break tomorrow against the Giants.
It was an even bigger night for the Greek freak Giannis Antetokounmpo. He took home the award for Best NBA Player and Best Male Athlete. Like Yelich, Giannis is coming off a league MVP award. He became the first Buck to win the MVP since Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in 1974.
That capped off a big day for Giannis, who also had his new line of Nike shoes go on sale. The Nike Air Zoom Freak Ones aren't exactly cheap. They sell for right around $120. Despite that, though, they sold out in 2 minutes at the Dick's Sporting Goods store in Greendale yesterday.
I just kind of wanted to open the box and look at them right away. I like all the engravings and details that are on the shoes. They're really cool.
Nike says the shoes honor Giannis's Greek heritage and are designed for speed and for power. They also include the names of Giannis's brothers etched on the heel. How cool. If you have trouble finding them in stores, they're also being sold online.
So believe it or not, we are a little more than a month away from high school football season.
What?
Yeah. Our Prep Mania game of the week will be returning this fall for its 12th season. Every Friday, we'll bring you live games on TVW and streaming on channel3000.com. Our first game of the season will be Friday, October 23rd between perennial football powers Monona Grove and Wanakee.
Certainly doesn't feel like football season out there, folks. The AC is going to get a workout in the next week or so. Hattie's in next with a look at our forecast, which includes about a week's worth of alert days for heat and humidity.
But first, if you have a little kid turning 3 soon, please let us know so we can show their picture on TV. Thanks for watching News 3 Now this morning. We'll be right back.
All right, this one's for my boyfriend, Zach. He loves to sail. Perfect day for it out there on Lake Mendota.
Look at that shot. You can see the sunrise on the buildings, on the sailboats. Lake looks pretty calm.
Oh, Hattie, you have drummed up just the perfect Thursday for us. We thank you for that.
You're welcome. Enjoy it today because unfortunately these comfortable conditions aren't going to last too long. But you're right, beautiful forecast today. Temperatures are going to heat up though. Take a look over here at our high temperature trend over the next 10 days. You definitely see an upward trend through the weekend and into next week. We are in the 90s for an extended stretch of time. Normal high this time of the year right around 82 degrees. We'll be about 10 degrees above that. We typically hit 90 a couple of times every summer, but we have had some extended stretches in the past. The longest 15 days with highs above 90 degrees. That was back in 1901. Most recent stretch of 90-degree weather a few years ago in 2012, we had 10 days in a row. That's tied for the third longest stretch of 90-degree days here in Madison. So we'll see how this next stretch shapes up. Here's a look at weather track. We'll start in the Gulf Coast. New Orleans got soaked yesterday with several inches of rain. Now the moisture mostly offshore at this time, but we're watching as this moisture is expected to organize itself into a tropical depression today and then continue to strengthen and possibly become the first hurricane of the 2019 season. Now this moisture will eventually move northward, bringing heavy rain to parts of the Gulf Coast, also a strong storm surge, as well as some potential wind. The moisture then will move through the central part of the United States. Some forecast models are trying to bring it into Wisconsin a little bit later on next week, so we'll keep a close eye on this storm system over the next several days. If your travel plans, though, take you to the south today, be prepared for a wet forecast all the way from Texas through the Gulf Coast states into Florida. Showers and thunderstorms are in the forecast, and that continues up the eastern seaboard. The west, by contrast, is pretty dry. Warm in Salt Lake City with near triple-digit heat there. Denver's also quite warm with highs in the 90s. Pretty comfortable through the Great Lakes region. We're a little bit cooler than we were yesterday. Take a look at future track showing you that high pressure is in control, and that will really dominate the weather through the day today. Temperatures are starting off in the 50s in some spots. International Falls is at just 50, 65 in Minneapolis. Chicago is still at 70 degrees this morning. We've cooled down into the mid-60s here for most of southern Wisconsin. 66 in Madison, 69 though in Boscobel as well as Prairie du Chien. The Dells is at 66. Janesville starts at 64. Dew points are in the 60s as well. That's still noticeable but lower than yesterday, and we'll see those dew points hang in the 60s all day today. A light northerly wind, a few passing clouds this morning, but plenty of sunshine this afternoon. Temperatures will top near 80, but then bottom out in the 50s. Here's a look at that extended forecast then. Several alert days in the forecast starting on Sunday. Monday we had highs in the 90s, and then we don't look back. Alert days Sunday through Friday of next week. Here's a look at your pet walk forecast this morning.
Honey.
Look at these good girls, Mia and Nellie in Stoughton. I think this is a perfect day for the park.
Look at those tongues.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They're having fun.
All right, Hattie. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Stay with us. The Morning Sprint is up next on News 3 Now this morning. But first, here's Tony Ducofel with what's ahead at the top of the hour.
Good morning. Ahead on CBS this morning, a powerful storm takes aim at the Gulf Coast. We're in Louisiana, where entire communities are already underwater, and a hurricane watch has been issued. Plus, could artificial intelligence put millions of jobs in jeopardy? First on CBS this morning, one of Amazon's top executives tells us how the retail giant is planning to keep people working. We'll see at 7.
It is 6:51, time for the morning sprint as our team gives you the most local news to start your Thursday.
We start this morning in Sun Prairie, where the community will continue to move forward today after a day of reflection. Members of that community joined the mayor, the fire chief, and the widow of Captain Corey Barr to remember the deadly explosion that happened 1 year ago. The event included a prayer and a moment of silence. The Historical Museum in that city says it is putting together an exhibit on the day, but they're still looking for contributions, especially first-hand accounts.
A worker at an Oak Creek Amazon construction site is dead this morning after falling 40 feet. Police say the victim was operating a piece of equipment on an upper floor and drove the vehicle out of an open window. An autopsy is scheduled for today, but the victim's name won't be released. OSHA has opened an investigation into the case.
And our forecast starts with temperatures in the 60s this morning, mid-60s across southern Wisconsin, but a nice warm-up. Relatively low humidity today, a lot of sunshine, and highs right around 80 degrees this afternoon.
Thank you very much, Hattie. States along the Gulf Coast are bracing for what's expected to be the first hurricane of the year. What could eventually become Hurricane Barry is picking up strength in the Gulf of Mexico this morning. The storm is coming as the Mississippi River flows at twice its normal level, leading to flooding concerns.
Two Great Lakes are seeing their highest water levels ever recorded. Officials say Lake Erie broke its previous record set in 1986, and Lake Ontario just topped its record level from 2017. Lake Michigan just missed its monthly record high for June by 1 inch. Experts say above average rainfall across the country has led to rising levels in nearly all of the Great Lakes.
Labor Secretary Alex Acosta says he got the toughest deal he could in the sex trafficking case against billionaire Jeffrey Epstein. Democrats are calling for Acosta to resign. They say a 2008 plea deal he agreed to while he was a U.S. attorney in Florida went too easy on the billionaire financier. The former Palm Beach County State Attorney says a lengthy indictment was prepared, but it was abandoned after secret negotiations between Epstein's lawyers and Acosta. Epstein now faces new federal charges of child sex trafficking in New York.
Several Democratic presidential candidates will be in Wisconsin today, a day before President Trump is expected to attend a fundraiser in the state. Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, Julian Castro, and Beto O'Rourke will be appearing at a town hall in Milwaukee. They'll each get 20 minutes to speak at the event, which is being hosted by the League of United Latin American Citizens.
A heads up for any cookouts you might have planned for the weekend. Several hot dog and hamburger bun brands are being recalled for a plastic choking hazard. Affected products include Nature's Own, Great Value, Laura Lynn, Piggly Wiggly, Publix, Food Depot, and Wonder. They're sold at places like Walmart, Sam's Club, and Aldi.
Officials in Beloit are hoping to answer any questions residents might have ahead of marijuana legalization happening across the border in Illinois next year. There will be 3 conversations with the community about CBD, hemp, and marijuana. The first of those meetings is tonight at the Beloit Rotary Center from 6:30 to 8. More meetings will be held next Thursday and on August 1st.
Madison West High School says it's planning to offer free condoms to its students upon request. They'll also be told about reproductive health and consent. The county health department says sexually transmitted infections at West High more than doubled between 2015 and 2017. In a survey last year, 20% of sexually active students say they'd never used a condom.
The City of Madison's food scrap pilot program is about to get underway. If you signed up for the program, you'll be getting pails to keep in the kitchen and black carts for the curb. Things like eggshells or nutshells can't be collected. Weekly collection for those food scraps will run every Friday from August 2nd to September 20th.
One of Madison's favorite summer festivals kicks off later today. We are talking about Fête de Marquette, marking its 14th year. It's 4 days of world-class music across 4 stages. Family fun, local food, great beer, and wine. Today's events run from 4 until 10. Fête de Marquette is put on by the Willie Street Co-op. It is free to get in. It runs through Sunday.
Madison Mallards who? For 3 games this month, our local baseball team is changing its name. We're introducing the Wisconsin Cheese Curds, who will take the field here at Warner Park for the first time ever tonight. Every Thursday in July, fans can come out to the duck pond and watch the Curds play ball. Players will be wearing new jerseys featuring a Cheese Curds logo and checkered sleeves. New merchandise will be available to fans, and you can bet there will be cheese curds to snack on. Head to our website, channel3000.com, for tickets. First pitch is tonight at 6:35.
Christina, thank you. If you aren't feeling like cheese curds today, you can always stop by 7-Eleven for a free Slurpee. It is July 11th, 7-Eleven Day. To celebrate, 7-Eleven is giving you a special cup for free in addition to that free Slurpee. You can get one anytime between 11 this morning until 7 tonight while they last.
All right, 6:56. Let's turn it over to Josh Tim with a look at your First Alert traffic. Hey, Josh.
Morning, guys. Starting to pick up on the westbound side of the Beltline between Stoughton Road and West Broadway. It's going to add a couple minutes to your drive time. Inbound John Nolan, you're tapping the brakes at Rimrock and then again at Olin Avenue moving into the downtown Madison area, but really nothing to slow you down. Getting busier on Verona Road approaching the Highway PD intersection from the north end southbound lanes. And other main routes coming into the city, moving along at the usual speeds with no major crashes or issues. With your First Alert traffic, I'm Josh Tim.
Thank you very much, Josh.
Just a picture-perfect start to this Thursday morning. Here's a live look from the Edgewater Skycam. Lake Mendota probably becoming a pretty popular place later on today as highs reach 80 degrees. Now, unlike yesterday, it's not going to be as humid. Take a look at the heat index forecast. Pretty close to the actual temperature later on today, so feeling pretty comfortable. Get ready for some heat and humidity, though. Temperatures climb into the upper 80s this weekend. There's just a slight chance for a shower or thunderstorm late Friday into Saturday morning. Otherwise, dry weather as we head into next week and highs in the 90s. Alert days are in the forecast starting on Sunday, right through the entire work week next week. Looks like we have an extended stretch of 90-degree weather.
We're talking about triple-digit heat indexes, right?
Wow.
Yes.
Woo. Get prepared. All right. Thank you, Hattie. You're welcome.
And thank you so much for joining us on this Thursday morning. We'll be back for you on your Friday. Go make it a great day.